my beautiful bugs, and welcome back to another episode of the Obsidian Order on the Crucial 2 server. I am super excited about today's episode because we are going to be continuing work on the temple. So for those of you who saw the time lapse, the outside is all done, and so I get to actually show you guys that in person, kind of get a first-person view of it rather than the time-lapse view. And then we get to do some work on the interior today. But first and foremost, I wanted to show you this right here. This is the road that will be connecting all of the temple areas. So I think it was the Mayan, I'd have to go back and check. They had these white roads which were called sock bays. I'll put the spelling up on the screen here right now. And yeah, and so these were the roads that were kind of like the main roads that they had built to kind of go in between the different areas. And from what I was seeing, from what they discovered using, I think LiDAR is what it's called, they're like straight roads. They go from point A to point B all in a straight line. And yeah, so that's kind of what I did here. And then I added a little bit of decoration here to add some interest to the area. I don't know if this is something that they would have. However, they did have something similar to this for the actual, the pillars to hold up the bridges. I haven't quite figured out how to do the diagonal one on this. I'll show you guys the straight one I did on the other side of this. But I decided to go ahead and continue the decoration there all the way through the path just to kind of create some continuity because these are going to be some long roads. So I'm like, I kind of like having this here, and then it helps to kind of frame, the scenery that you have around it. And then here we end up going into a hill. I added some lights so that this is nice and lit up. So a pretty simple design, but definitely one that I am happy with. And one that I think kind of goes well with the aesthetic of the kind of Aztec Mayan thing. I don't know if they would do a tunnel like this, as that's kind of, a pretty big thing to build on, with the technology that they had. So, after we get this nice sleep out of the way, let's go ahead and turn back around so I'm actually going in the right direction. So this is the direction for the temple. You can kind of see it start kind of peeking out. And I really like how these prevent you from seeing the temple in full until you get to the final one right here. And voila, there is the main temple in all of its glory. There is still definitely lots of terraforming that needs to be done. I basically just plunked it down and was like, okay, nope, this is where it's going to be. And yeah, so based on the things that we're going to be building around it will kind of determine how we terraform it. So let's go ahead and get some food. I'm running desperately low, and then get my hood back on as well. So the next thing that we need to do to kind of work on the main temple here is actually the interior. As you can see, I have it all nice and dug out. However, I'm running into the problem of I have all this, dirt and stone and all these resources, and my main storage area right now is over in the village, which doesn't help me here. So I'm thinking that what I need to do is I need to actually build the storage room. So that is actually what we're going to be doing today, is the main storage room, so that we can then move everything over here and start building the interior. So I just wanted to come up here. You got this nice little area here. So this is where we're going to be, doing the sacrifices and stuff. And so that's going to be kind of the theme for what is going on inside here. And yeah, so I'm definitely really happy with the way that this ended up turning out. Need to still do the stuff for the different layers, but I'm kind of, more of an organic growth for this area rather than, everything kind of being pre-planned and all of that. So let's go ahead and pop down in here. The elytra has been such, a wonderful addition to my inventory, especially with the way this is going. No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted, yes, here we go, fish. We need the fish. So for the storage area, for those of you who didn't catch it before, there is a temple down here. Well, not a temple, but this is a dungeon. And so this had all kinds of different, like spawners and stuff in it. And so, like, this would be a really good area to actually kind of add in the different things. And so because the main temple is up there, I'm going to put my main storage area here. As you can see, I kind of, oh, yeah, it's a creeper. I kind of marked out where the main boundaries are going to be so that I could kind of figure out what I needed to dig out and all of that. And then, of course, the lava, which is going to be a huge help for the main interior build. So I'm going to go ahead and get this all dug out, and we can see what it looks from there. And here we go. One rather, yeah, nondescript hole. But yeah, so this is going to be about the size of the storage room. I'm modeling it after the one room I found in the in this area that had the dynamite and the skeleton spawners. So I'm hoping to kind of get the same feel in here. So have the grass and stuff in here, and then the different archways and stuff, which will have the actual, like, the chests and the crates, because like we have these things here. So the storage crates, they hold up to 1,000 items. So yeah, so this is all nice and emptied out now. So the only thing left to do now is to start, basically from the roof down. That was one of the reasons why I didn't fully actually clear it out, because I'm like, yeah, I gotta be able to actually reach the ceiling. So yeah, still gonna be a slight problem because I went down a little bit too deep in some areas, but that is all right. So I am going to go continue working on this and then get in all of the lovely things. And here we go, one finished storage room. It is different than the one where they had the skeletons and with the dynamite and stuff like that. So I will go ahead and put that up on the screen now to kind of show you guys, because it was a lot more open. And of course we had, the TNT in the center, but which I cleared out, and then the skeleton spawners and stuff. So that of course isn't going to be in this lovely space. But as you can see, I went ahead and did these pillars in the middle. I thought this worked out really well. Helped to kind of break up the space some. And then I can use the spaces around here to kind of put different things. And then I've got these walls here that I've left open. I haven't quite decided what I want to do with it. I think I have enough storage space, so I may do something different with these walls, maybe like some mini farms or something along those lines. And then I also ended up leaving a doorway over here so I could continue on going this direction for, kind of like my base buildings, whereas this is the direction for the actual temple. Now with the temple, I'm still planning on going back and kind of filling stuff out, and then I'll probably use some signs because I get lost in here all the time. So yeah, I'm gonna need to figure out a way that I can actually remember how to get from this spot here over to where I'm gonna be doing the mob grinder. So yeah, that way I don't have to go all the way back up out of the temple and to the other temple that I'm gonna be building, and then down into where the mob grinder is. But yeah, so I definitely am super happy with the way that this ended up turning out, and it looks like, oh, I forgot to fill in that one. There's a cave up above as well as a cave down below. So yeah, so I definitely need to fill that in so I don't have things dropping in on my head. But yeah, so we've got all of the storage, and then yeah, I think that pretty much does it for this area. So the next step then is to head back upstairs. Oh wait, before I forget, I've had this in my other storage area for the longest time. Bob ended up coming over, and he was so kind. He ended up giving me 64 of the maggots. These are going to be used to breed up the capuchin monkeys, which I am hoping to have like a army of capuchin monkeys over here at the at the temple areas. So those are going to come in super handy with that. So the next step, other than going to the public mob grinder and getting my pick fixed, because as you can see, my Silk Touch pick has definitely seen better days. It is getting a lot of use in these builds, and needless to say. But after I get that done, then the next step is to build stuff in here. So I have a nice plan for the sacrificial area, and this is, so this will actually kind of be like the actual like temple proper. So this is where, the magic and stuff will end up, kind of taking place, or at least the sacrificial part of it. So that means that I need to go and get my pick repaired, and then from there bring up the materials and start putting this in place. So the interior of our main temple here is all done, at least the main part. There's still plenty of areas that we can end up expanding out, but wow, that was okay, weird. I wanted to bring you guys up here because I made some changes for one. So in order to make it a little bit more family friendly, I got rid of the wandering trader heads. And so we are actually, you know, the different, like, let's see, that's a silverfish, we got a spider, we got a salmon. But we are making stew, and you guys will see here in just a second the reason why we are making stew. So I think this is probably the best view from up here. So you can actually see, you know, a pretty decent chunk of the area in here for what is happening down below. So here, we'll cut up our fish, we'll throw it in, and it'll get added into this gigantic pot here. So I made sure that it was nice and safe for everyone because, yes, I've learned my lesson from the very beginning of, you know, being on servers and stuff that definitely need to make things safe because, yeah, if this glass wasn't here, I'm sure somebody at some point, to include myself, because I may have done it down there multiple times, but luckily no deaths, because, oh my gosh, yeah, I would have lost this stuff here and all my tools, and oh my gosh, that would have been horrible, but we have this, it's nice and safe, so we can just go ahead and jump down here. And then, as you can see, we've got this right here, which is sun metal. I love this, and I think it's really funny because I found this, and I'm like, you know, I'm kind of surprised that Sunfire didn't use any of the sun metal. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it's something that other people know about because I don't think I've seen anybody use the sun metal. But this is made with soul sand and gold nuggets, and I really like the look of this. I was trying to find something coppery for this, and I think, yeah, though this, I think it would be more along the lines of like a bronze maybe. But yeah, so we've got the villager heads with their eyeballs and their noses of lava flowing down into, you know, the detail here. And if we come down here, so we've got the cauldron, which is up on top of a pedestal here, and we can climb up here, and up here we've got little flower pots, and we got cooking pots, and we can, you know, grab some of the soup from the, you know, from inside and, you know, have a nice, wonderful food. So that is the reason why we sacrifice the fish and spiders and stuff. We are making one gigantic pot of soup, and we've got it cooking, and that's the reason why it is nice and steamy up on top. And then around here we've got lava and stuff, kind of indicating the like the heat of the earth and stuff like that. So that's, you know, kind of what this is all about. And yeah, so I just did a little, you know, just little trails of lava going around, just to add a little bit of detail into the floor. I kind of feel that it's still a little bit too flat, but that might be something I kind of work on later, maybe adding in like stairs along here so that it creates another little like three-dimensional space. Now, for those of you on the server, definitely be careful because this does go down, and it's kind of hard to get out of, and I don't, I will not be held responsible for anybody dying in the lava. Over on these sides, I should say, these side, oh my gosh, apparently I can't speak today. We have openings for kind of, you know, expansions and stuff within, you know, within this main area. And then here, this is where we can end up going down into the, you know, with the storage area. So if I come over here, we have a quick way of getting down. However, do have to go all the way around in order to get to the top. So here we've got, you know, the storage room, which I had already showed you guys. So I did make some changes. So we've got some leaves coming down. I decided, you know, that would kind of look interesting, kind of having that. And then I had a wandering trader come through, and I got some passion vines. So we now have passion fruit, which is, you know, yummy. And then I added in regular vines to kind of grow on that side. And then, I also added in a little auto smelter here because, yes, oh my gosh, I needed like all the glass and stuff, and it's like, okay, yeah, kind of need an auto smelter. So I had it set up right here, but then it's like, okay, I need to put it somewhere where I can actually just leave it. So that is there. And then I also did mark out how to get to the mob spawner that I plan on turning into a mob farm. Because as you can see, yeah, my poor pick is, yeah, pretty much done for, and yeah, so I need to go back to the mob grinder again. And yeah, so it's one of those that I have to go to the mob grinder so many times, especially with the fact that, I mean, so much of this stuff is done with the smooth stone. And so it's like, yeah, I think the next step really has to be the mob grinder. So that is what I'm going to plan on working on for our next project. And I think another one is going to be a fast way to travel up. I think this needs to go. So either turn this into a ladder or something. But yeah, no, this is not, yeah, not doing it. But yeah, so this was definitely a fun little project to kind of create this area here, so that, you know, we can have, you know, something kind of here for, you know, the sacrificial area. And then, of course, the only way right now to kind of get out of this is to fly out. So yeah, definitely for those, you know, for anybody on the server, yeah, make sure to bring your rockets. If not, message me and be like, hey, Mantis, I'm stuck in your temple. Please let me out. But yeah, so that is going to do it for us today. So we got the storage room all done, as well as getting this more, you know, more family friendly, as well as, you know, kind of adding in our giant soup pot down there, which was, you know, definitely a fun little project. So I definitely hope that you guys have enjoyed this episode. If you did, definitely hit that like button.
If you're new to the channel, click the Mantis icon to subscribe, then hit the bell button to get notified when I put out additional content. Want to check out more of my videos? Try the one on the left, or you could check out the playlist on the right. That's it for now, but I'll see you guys in the next episode.